Okay, Superworms. Bought a bunch of Superworms on Amazon, and I keep them in this oatmeal. I put in some fruit and carrots, and built this tray. Saw on YouTube that this would hold them, but well, they hate the corners out. And I built that cardboard insert to kind of keep them in, and I put them in a 3-drawer layer. I'll get back to that in a minute, but anyway, they ate through the corners and they started escaping. Good thing I had them in this tote, because they'd climb out and then they'd stay in there. But other people on YouTube seem to see that tray works and that 3-drawer system works for them. But anyway, so the reason why I started doing this is because I have turtles. And the turtles love these guys. And yeah, I have fish too, because the turtles can't catch them all. But I feed them worms from the garden, red worms. I got 3 turtles in a 6-foot tank here. Back it up so you can see it. Every morning I step over here and they all just run right up to me. Like, feed me, I want to eat. I've had these guys about 20 years. Back in 93 is when I got this tank. So 24 years. I had 4 of them. And I only have 3 now. One of them died. I came home one day and the head was gone. I saved him. What do you do with a pet you had so long? I put him in a bunch of salt to absorb all the bad stuff, and well, I saved him. And recently I cleaned the tank and I found his jawbone. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Started with these Superworms. Started breeding them. Breeding, yeah, exactly. Because I saw a YouTube video. So anyway, I thought I'd use these for fishing and feed my turtles. I got 1,000 for like 26 bucks, 27 bucks. And it was a lot cheaper than paying $10, $15 a week every other week for fish. So these have lasted me about 1,000. I think in September. And I still got a few left. Anyway, on YouTube they were putting them in these storage containers. And if you isolate them into a storage container, then they would transform into pupate. Into that, they start to curl up, and then they turn into that, a pupate stage. So they shed off their skin, curl up, shed off their skin, pupate. Some of them anyway, some of them just die. And yeah, we put holes in the lids, each hole. But they all turn into, they curl up. And they're isolated. And after a while they pupate. And then after they pupate, they start to turn into a thing with legs. And trying to give you the best view here. But they start growing legs, and so after they've turned from there, then the legs start darkening up. And Pretty soon they turn into, I don't see any, there's a couple. They turn into a beetle. And first they start out all white. This one's a little past the white stage. I don't have any white ones, that's what I was looking for. And then they get a little darker and darker. And then after that stage, they go into a drawer. And in this unit, well, I put tape along the sides. They said they wouldn't get out of here, but they really haven't gotten out of here. The space is too close here. I put tapes on the side just to be sure, but they climb out on top. I don't know if you can see through that crack. You see them moving? There's a couple on top. I just shake them and they're pretty funny how they just run right down and jump down back in that hole. But I put them in here. Trying to get it out here. The bottom, they were cutting out so the babies, the babies from the beetles drop down into that tray, to the next tray. So I have another little environment for these guys to live in. And they climb out the top, but they haven't really escaped out of here. That's the reason why it's on top of the turtle tank. So they would have to climb maybe inside. The turtles would get them. I have fed the turtles a few of these, but that's not the reason why I was growing them. And I'll collect inside here and up under the edges. And I put in moist food in there, and it needs to be changed, but they say be careful because they lay eggs on that. And I've done this from, I guess it was about September, October. I've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 months, and I've gone through the stages, but I haven't seen any babies yet. They're supposed to fall out the bottom. I put some wire screen in there, and I kind of left some of that in there for support. I didn't want to make it too flimsy, so I just did it like that. And they're supposed to drop down into here, and well, I don't have anything yet, so I made it through the process of them, from growing them to put them in containers, separate, pupate. The stages of pupation, if that's a word. And I guess I could feed them that way, but that's kind of redundant. But put them in a warm spot, and they said 30, 60 days, but it seems like sometimes it takes longer or shorter. And sometimes I put it underneath there, sometimes I put it underneath my water bed, which is warm, but they haven't made it past this stage, which I'm patiently waiting. It's not like I don't have a few of them, not like they're not getting busy. Can you hear them? They do make a little noise. Anyway, if you got any hints, these guys would like a mass population of worms, superworms, because these guys really got turned out eating all these superworms. They just go crazy for them. And they're a little bigger, a little cheaper than fish. And the fish that live, you can see the fish in there, are faster than the turtles. There's all 3 of them. Like I said, I had 4. And I kept 4 because they were kind of like my Ninja Turtles. My kid liked Ninja Turtles. He's about as big as my hand. He's the biggest one. He's got short claws. So I'm thinking that one's a female. And that one there, and that's a red ear turtle. I see him on there. This one here's not a red ear turtle. I think it's a yellow slider. And it's got longer claws. This is a red ear turtle and it's got longer claws. So I think what I was told was the long claws are the males, so they can hold on to its partner's shell. But anyway, plant life on my turtle tank. Lots of plants here. I'll try to grow some ginger. I grow moss pretty good. African violets, take a leaf, put hormone on the edges and put it in there. Now it's got something new growing, so I let it grow. That's a cool turtle tank. It's nice. At night you hear him talking to you. Kind of like that. But they would do it, and I would do it in return, and pretty soon we'd be talking. Just having them in the living room. Now it's in my storage room. But anyway, that's my Superworms video. And maybe somebody can point out what I'm doing wrong. Thanks. See ya.